now. 1-800-315-2424. 1-800-315-2424. Call Life Alert now for your free brochure. 1-800-315-2424.
Everybody's talking at me.
This is the Original Talkback with yours truly, Chuck Wilder. And Paul Stern was telling me, remember we had a couple guests on whenever it was, a day or so ago, and they were gonna be put up on YouTube. So now, as I understand, what you need to do is just check out or Google Chuck Wilder's Original Talkback or CRN Digital Talk Radio on YouTube, and you're getting some of these great interviews, because I always have the outstanding guests. That's right. And outstanding right now, and I'm going to bring her in, is Carrie Pickett, Washington Times. Hey, Carrie, how are you?
Great. How are you, Chuck?
Just fine. Hey, you know what? Here we see that now Janet Napolitano is acknowledging, along with Holder, that they haven't read the Arizona bill, but they sure like to squeak out about it. And your article points out, well, maybe the L.A. Council didn't read the SB 1070, or maybe they did, but they didn't read the California Penal Code, which is almost identical to SB 1070, but they sure like to shoot their mouth off and ask for a boycott. And Carrie, let me tell you something. In her article entitled California Penal Code Pertaining to Immigration, Similar to Arizona's SB 1070, you're out doing your homework, so to speak, your footwork, and you get L.A. City Councilman Ed Reyes, and you start asking him some questions. And, Carrie, tell the listeners what happened. This is unbelievable. No, it's not unbelievable. Not at all. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty actually unsurprising given his answers. I spoke with Councilman Ed Reyes over at the Los Angeles City Council, and I asked him, well, look, you have this SB 1070 immigration law that just passed in Arizona, which is essentially, it mimics federal immigration law of the past 70 years. So what essentially changed in your mind, and why is it so racist? Why do you have such a problem with it? Because then essentially you have a problem with federal immigration law. And he had a very rough time answering that. He sort of danced around it. And I also asked the question, well, did you even read SB 1070? Oh, well, of course I did. I'm like, okay, well, then what's your problem with it? Oh, well, it classifies people into second-class citizens, and it makes people look at their color and their race. And I'm like, but you just said that you read it, and where in the bill does it actually say that? And he couldn't tell me. So I have a feeling that he has some explaining to do about it if he actually read the bill.
You know, and it's 10, 12 pages, I think 12 pages long. And as far as I know, nowhere in that bill does it say we will classify citizens as second class. I didn't see that in there, did you?
No. I mean, in fact, it actually prohibits officers from using racial profiling, on using or even using reasonable suspicion based on racial profiling, national origin, color, etc. As far as pulling people over. That's just prohibited. And if anyone tries to do that, it could actually, I imagine it could actually be challenged in court. But even going back to,
I was going to say, they make a big point about if you are pulled over by a police officer and you feel that there has been racial profiling, it's even written in there, we're ready to defend you to the very end.
Absolutely.
That's not their words, but that's what it says.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the law. It's there for their protection. But you see, here's the thing, though, is that, I mean, I began wondering just the other day, I'm like, you know, a lot of these particular cities that are sort of freaking out about SB 1070, they already have similar sorts of local and, like, state laws already pertaining to immigration, essentially saying that if an officer arrests somebody for a crime, they are required to eventually find out about the suspect's legal status, and if they find out that the suspect is indeed illegal, they are required to report them over to Immigration and Naturalization Services. This is SB 1070 is essentially no different. It actually isn't that strong of a bill. And so a lot of this hoopla over this whole SB 1070 thing is sort of look here, not there. You know, it's a lot of really over nothing.
It's the usual open border crowd, and those who even say, you know, like whenever they voted this, and I think Reyes was the one that said it, we have ancestors in Mexico, and I question, so when did Mexico become your first choice, you know, your first desire, you know, and as far as lawmaking goes, putting Mexico above the city of Los Angeles or the United States of America? But see, this is their line thought. Now, when we come back after this break, I'm going to let these listeners know what he said about if he came across an officer who was having a bad day. This is really unbelievable. Be right back.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that